Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? This is a presentation for grade 9 bilingual unit, and this is a science presentation. My dear students, in this one I am going to present to you all about your second term unit, that's unit 11, about the density. You have learnt about the density in grade 8 also, so let's revise the definition first. Density means mass per unit volume of a substance. That means 1 meter cube of a object, that's the mass, that's the density. Or 1 centimeter cube of an object, what is the mass? That is the density. So you you have a definition like this: mass per unit volume. That's the density. Now let's see the formula of the density. Here, density equals to mass divided by volume. So, if they ask you the formula, write down density equals to mass divided by volume. That's density. Good. Now, let's move to the unit of density. Here, you can see density equals to mass divided by volume. Here, when the mass is in gram, the volume is centimeter cube. So the answer is gram per centimeter cube or gram per cubic centimeter. Here, another one is SI unit. So if they ask you the SI unit, you have to state like this. That means SI unit of mass, that's kilogram. SI unit of volume, that's cubic meter. So the SI unit of density is kgm minus 3, that's kilogram per cubic meter. So if they ask you the SI unit, you should indicate kilogram per cubic meter. Okay, now let's move to the another part, calculations related to density. Usually you all have understood density equals to mass divided by volume. So this is the first question going to explain by me. The mass of the object is 30 kilogram and the volume is 10 cubic meter. So find its density. First of all, what you have to do is write down the known things here. What's the known things? M equals to 30 kilogram, V equals to 10 cubic meter. So write down the formula first, then substitute like this. So 30 divided by 10, that's 3 kilogram cubic per cubic meter. So that's the answer. Okay, now let's move to the another type of question. Second question, they have given the density 50 gram per cubic centimeter and the volume is given 3 centimeter cube. Find its mass. So first of all, what you have to do, write down the formula, then take the subject of this one. What is the subject you have to take? You have to take the subject as the mass. So mass equals to density into volume. So multiply both and find the answer 150. That's the answer should be given in gram because the question is given in gram. Okay, my dear students, let's move to the finding the volume. Here the mass and the density is given. So first of all, as usual, write down the formula and take the subject like this, then substitute. So what's the answer? 50 divided by 5, 10 cubic meter. Okay, my dear students, I think you all have understood how to substitute the values, and if they give the mass and the volume, you should understood how to find the density. If they give density and volume, you can understand the mass and vice versa. Okay, my dear students, here I have given you some 3 questions like this. So what you have to do is take down these questions in your exercise books and I try to write down the answers. So this is an easy question as I explained in earlier slides. So you can understand it very easily. Okay, write down these questions. Now let's move to the another part, the instruments to measure the density. Here there is an instrument called as hydrometer. Hydrometer is used to measure the density of the liquid. This is the hydrometer. it's made up of glass. Here there's a stem and the bulb. Under this there's a bulb here, gravity bulb. In that one there are lead shots available. Why there is a lead shot? Because it's a very heavy one. So it helps to keep the hydrometer erect in the liquid. And the calibration marks are there. It is, and how they are calibrated from top to bottom in this method. Okay, my dear students, now let's move to the comparisons of the density. Here you are given two liquid and a water. You have learned the density of the water is 1000 kilogram per cubic meter. Here unknown liquids are given. Now you are going to compare this one. Here look at this one. First one, it is sink less. Third one, it is sink more. So how can you compare which is more density, which is less density? Here you have to remember like this. Here it sinks less in high density, it sinks more in low density. So you can understand arranging, that means this ascending order. A has more density, B has less density. Now let's move to the uses of hydrometer. Here there are many hydrometers. Alcohol meter, that's used to measure the percentage of alcohol in the alcoholic drinks. There is another lactometer. Lacto means milk, so it's used to identify the density of the milk. And the soil hydrometer, it's used to identify the, that means determine the composition of the soil. Seawater, measure the density of the seawater hydrometer. And the metrolog is there to detect the composition of the rubber. So there are many types of hydrometer. You have to remember the each and everyone's function. Okay, my dear students, I think you all have a clear idea about density, substitutions, calculations, units, and the instrument, that's hydrometer. So now what you have to do is do the exercise that's given in your textbook. So thank you very much for listening this presentation. Thanks.